Okay, we was on the second page.
Yes.
Is the screen clear? Is
The
this
screen, wait.
Is it clear to you?
Yes, yes. It's a little bit blind, like I can't see it. A little bit blind, I can't see it.
Okay, in this case, you can open it from your phone, okay?
Yes, yes. I have the book, I can see from my book.
Okay, that's great. Now this
Okay,
is the
continue.
point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old than during the whole week before I killed him. And okay, before I killed him, and every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I bought in a dark lantern and closed that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust in it in. I moved it. Okay. Okay, let's continue to the second page.
Second page.
Okay. Steadily in the end. Okay, it is this. So you can like that. Okay, I will continue. Okay, slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. How would a madman have been so wide as this? And then, when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, seriously? Cautiously, for the hinges cracked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights. Every night, just at midnight. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work for it. was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye, and every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he has passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man. Indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the eighth night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph to think that there I was opening the door little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no, his room was as black as pitch, with the thick darkness, for the shutters were close fastened through fear of robbers, and so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. Okay, to the next page.
Yes.
Okay, I think this is the one we should continue on. Okay, let's continue. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when my slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang open bed. Got out, who's there? I kept quite still and said nothing for a whole hour. I didn't move a muscle. And in the meantime, I didn't hear him lie down. He was just sitting up in the bed listening, just as I have done night after night. Hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently I hear the slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of terror. It was not groan of pain or of grief. Oh no, it was the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overchanging with all. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when the world slept, it has it has welled up from my own bosom, deeping within, dreadful echo, the terrors that distracted me. I say, I know it well. I know what the old man felt, and pitied him. Although I chuckled at heart, I that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise. When he turned in the bed, his fears had been ever since growing upon him, trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, it is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It only crossing the floor. Or it is merely a cricket which has made a single. Yes, he had been trying to comfort himself with these suppositions, had found all in vain, because this, in approaching him, stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. It was a mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused to feel, although he neither saw or nor had to feel the presence of. Okay, let's continue to the next page. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily until at length simple dim ray, like the thread of the spider, shot from out of the crevice, and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect
Okay.
distinctness, all a dull blue, with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones, and I could see nothing else of the old man face or person. So I had directed the ray as if by instinct precisely upon the spot.
Complete.
Okay, until now, is the events clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So can you send this page again?
Which page? Page what?
This page. The last word in it is legs. خلي الصفحة
Okay,
مفرودة
wait,
عشان الصورة تبقى أوضح يعني.
okay, wait, no. Okay, I send it.
Send it again.
Yes, I send it.
Send it or sent.
Sent again. I sent it again. Sent.
Okay. And have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over acuteness of the senses. Now I say there came to my ears a low dull, quick sound such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well. Too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased that. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldiers into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely rest I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the way. Okay. I scarcely maintained the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, and louder and louder. Very instant, the old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every moment. Do you think me well? I have told you that I am nervously so. Okay, I am nervously so. I am nervous, so I am. And now the dead hour of the night aimed. Okay, let's continue. I am nervous, so I am. And now the dead hour of the night aimed the dreadful silence of that old house. So strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still, but the beating grew louder, louder. I thought the heart must burst, and now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With hour yet, I threw upon the lantern and leaped into the room. He
Yes,
shrieked
yes.
once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily. So find the deed so far. So far done, but for many minutes the heart beat on with muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. Okay, it would not be heard through the wall. At length, it keysed. The old man was free. I removed. Okay, I removed the bed and examined the corpus. Yes. Okay. Corpus. Yes, he was stone. Stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart.